Hello, I hope you're well. I've taken a break from creating videos this past summer when the video about leaving my job as a financial advisor really took off. I got excited. I created a lot of different videos, but it was good to pause. And I had some retreats I was hosting in Sedona, traveling to conferences, and now I'm back home as the holidays begin. And I wanted to just confirm what it is that I do here with these videos. It all started with the fact that I didn't come from wealth. And there's something inside of me that's very motivated to create greater equality in the world. And how that shows up in these videos is I'd like to level the playing field. I'd like to help people who may not have received the financial education that I've either learned in school or ultimately from becoming an investor, building houses for many years with my husband, building wealth, learning about how to keep wealth, like so many life lessons that I'm really excited to share with you because if I can help one person figure out how to get out of financial instability or even from financial stability to financial growth to financial independence, like my life has great meaning. And that's what it's all about. So I just thought it would be helpful to mention that. Today, I wanted to talk about building wealth, similar to being like building a house. My husband, like I said, and I have been doing this for 30 years, building houses together. And let me tell you something funny. Imagine waking up to a pile of lumber and just starting to build without any plan. Sounds crazy, right? Yet that's exactly what many people do when it comes to their money. They try to build wealth without having a plan. And I know this journey very well because I started there without a blueprint, without wealthy parents to help me, and honestly, without a lot of money. Particularly about build what it really takes to build wealth. I could go take an investment class and I got my MBA in finance, but that didn't tell me how to build wealth. My story has not been an overnight success. It's about learning something new, learning things sometimes the hard way, and then building wealth mindfully and sustainably over 3 decades. Before I share this powerful analogy about houses and wealth, let me tell you that I didn't grow up with financial privilege or mentors showing me the way. I did have some really important people that told me about a book to read or reminded me of how important it was not to get caught up in conspicuous consumption, right? Just keeping up with the Joneses. But I had to figure out things through trial and error and a little bit of the formal education, but mostly real life experiences, some of them really challenging. Back then, we didn't have YouTube videos or online resources. I remember feeling overwhelmed and sometimes just really alone in trying to understand money. And, you know, even today, with all the information online, it can feel completely overwhelming, maybe even more than ever before. And there are just so many voices telling you what to do with your money. It's hard to know who to trust and where to start. So that's why I'm here today. My goal isn't just to throw out more financial information. Instead, I want to share what I've learned about building wealth in a way that considers your whole self, your mind, your emotions, and how you stress, how money stress shows up in your body. Because building wealth isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet, it's about creating a life that feels secure and is truly aligned with your values. I would say that's been the hardest lesson because when I first started building wealth, I didn't really care about my values. I really did feel ruthless that it was every person for themselves and that you had to do what you had to do to make money. And it breaks my heart that that's what it started out being because all along I didn't feel good about it. And it probably has a lot to do with why I want to give back so much now because I realized that the integrity that I applied to my journey early on wasn't the true me. And yet I did it for many years. And now, if I can help people build wealth without what I would say taking shortcuts, that's really what we do. When we're in scarcity, we take shortcuts or we try to take shortcuts. And what I found is they don't actually bring you happiness, because the means that got you that money is going to weigh heavily on you, whether you realize it or not, whether it's just bad karma or it's actually in the way that you feel about the world, like being a victim or the world is out to get you, which is one of the things that I was raised with, that I had to break those patterns before I could build greater, less of scarcity and more abundance in my life. So, just like how building a house requires you to be aware of your surroundings and present in each moment, building wealth requires mindfulness. You need to notice not just the numbers, but how different financial situations make you feel. Are you tense when you check your bank account? Do you feel anxiety when you think about investing or doing it? These physical and emotional responses are really important things that we often ignore. So here's something I learned that nobody talked about when I was starting out. Your relationship with money isn't just financial, it's emotional, it's physical, and it's even spiritual. When we're stressed about money, our body tells us. Our shoulders tense up, our breathing gets shallow, we lose sleep, we might not talk very nicely to our relatives, our friends, our family. And that's why I think it's really important that we learn about money from a mindfulness perspective. It's about learning to notice these responses without judgment, understanding your money patterns, and making conscious choices rather than reactive decisions. So, I'm in the midst of creating a financial planning workshop that combines both the suggestions for the practical aspects, but also the emotional and mental challenges that we probably need to pay attention to so that we can create a balance between the two as we move forward. I'm doing this because I wish someone had taught me these principles when I started out, not just the technical aspects of money management, but how to build wealth while staying true to yourself and maintaining your well being. This isn't, again, just about reaching a certain number in your bank account. It's about building a relationship with money that feels healthy, sustainable, and aligned with your values. In the workshops and the videos I create here, we're exploring both the practical aspects and the mindful awareness that I think are truly needed to create lasting wealth. So, just like every house we've ever started building with a single foundation, we know that the journey to financial freedom starts with a single step. And that step includes being present and aware of where you are right now. So, if you're ready to start building financial wealth, or you're already on the journey and you want more mindfulness with confidence and joy, then join me in this journey. I love being able to be a guide and answer your questions in whatever way would be helpful to you. So, post your questions, leave a comment, feedback, like, and subscribe. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun as we go forward together. Thank you for watching. Build it right, build it steady, and build it mindfully. And I'll see you in the next video.